going on? Taking me a walk here. Yeah, man. It's like had my heart broken many times in this freaking life. And you know, it doesn't never feel good, but it's good to know that you don't have a heart of freaking stone. It's freaking, it's like only a stone heart, a hardened heart stays broken, you know. And it's like there's a part in the scripture where it says you need to ask for a heart of flesh. It's like this heart of flesh is a muscle, you know, and extreme emotions and stuff like that, man, makes it grow stronger, even though it kind of hurts. But you know, it's like your heart freaking has to be fed, and what you feed it is what you'll get in there. It's like the heart resonates with things. Either, you know, like what makes your heart beat? There's only conflict and like ego and pride and vanity is the only thing that gets your freaking jollies off, or there's truth and justice and what's right and what's real. Do those things make your freaking heart beat a little faster? You know? Or do they just make your blood run cold? You know? So thank God for letting us have a freaking breakable heart sometimes, man. But you can replace it with one that can't be broken. But it can take a beating. It's not that it's not freaking, it's not necessarily pleasant when you're going through it, but yeah, you'll just kind of learn this shit as you go. You'll be better for it afterwards, but I don't know. It'll make what's in your heart come out, you know, like being really freaking mad or being immature and wanting to blame everything on somebody else instead of being self-accountable, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I appreciate, is that I've been self-accountable more so than I was in the past. And I don't have to carry around a lot of the freaking guilt. You know, and that's the CC. Guilt is another good thing. Because when you feel bad when you're doing bad, you should. And that freaking discomfort should make you want to switch it. Reorientate your, kind of like tuning up your freaking heart, man. It's like a tuning fork, man. It's called an organ. It's like an instrument. You know, I know I'm not the only one that had to learn most of these lessons, like hard knocks. You know, hey, howdy. Anyway, see, that's how you kind of recalibrate. Right there is you kind of just, what you give out, you'll get it back. And then, you know, if somebody gives you, shoots some bad vibes your way, you know, you got to let it roll off. You kind of like a duck lets water roll off the back. And with training, you know, and freaking with intention and with faith isn't just like this blind belief. It's more or less this, I can act on behalf of this attribute or something. You know, it's like either you got it or you don't. So if you have it, where's the fruit? And you just gotta, It's not your job to save the freaking world, man. It's just your job to be a good neighbor. And in the time of your life span, learn why it's better to do what you should have done from the freaking beginning, but admit that you were just messing around or whatever, just distracted like most people are. So it's not like you're the only one, or it's just you, buddy. Yeah, you're fucking defective, man. Give up. No, man. That's what they want you to believe, but it's not true. Yeah, so it's kind of like I see in mankind, we got these built-in defense mechanisms that keeps us from becoming full-scale narcopath, psychopath, freaking narcissist. You know, like a full-out, full-blown narcissist who only gives a F about themselves. And they're just a control freak who wants to keep everybody down while they, you know, kind of are on this pedestal above everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like this mind game they play, like as if they're so great and we're so stupid, you know? But I understand why. I can put myself in their shoes and see that, like, look, how miserable that's got to be, man. And how much freaking work they got to spend on just being a covert, like, just scum of the earth. But they got to put on this role that there's this freaking Prince Charming or knight in shining armor who's going to save the world. When it's like, that's another kind of, that's lack of faith. Kind of remember how Darth Vader says, I find your lack of faith disturbing. It's like, you freaking narcissist. The fact that, you know, you depend on your own freaking connivery. Like, that's your sole thing you rely on, which is kind of like, you're your own idol, you're your own God, and you get to make it up as you go, or let your code of moral relativism be morality. But you know, I could see that as vanity. Like, some people proclaim themselves to be God, or God's little G's. And it's like, man, you can't, with your mind, even make yourself grow a few inches taller. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to go and get some fake surgery and switch it up, but that's truly not real godhood. So it's like a vain philosophy, but yet many people are caught up in it, and it's because their hearts are hardened and they don't resonate with the truth, and it's very unfortunate. But I understand why, because it's easier. You don't have to go look at yourself, man. You don't have to self-examine and self-reflect and then turn away from that vain imagination that you had and try to do something different, like humble yourself and submit yourself to something else outside yourself. You know, I mean, I'm not saying submit yourself to the frickin' Big Brother communist or nothing. That's not a noble cause neither. You know what I'm saying? See, some people, you know, kind of go off the other end, and they become kind of susceptible to cults like Jim Jones and shit, and statism and democide, and it's freaking this brainwashing is as old as time, and in a way, they try to tune your hearts, man, and you got to make the choice yourself. Can't nobody do it for you. It's a personal thing, and you do need the assistance of God himself. You got to pray and believe. If you expect any, like, if a man doesn't believe, look, Nothing's gonna come of that. And it's vain and useless. That's what vain means. It's just useless. Just like wicked, profitless. It's good for nothing. You know? And that's the road, man, most of us have been walking for most of our life, man, is vanity. Chasing the wind. And being caught up in this grand delusion. The strong delusion. And lust of the eye and the lust of the flesh and pride of life. And it's really, it's unfortunate, man. Things are really jacked up because of this, this nasty, like, ideologies, man. Strongholds in people's minds. And then their cognitive dissonance. And not only that, they will violently defend it and, slander you, you know, and use all these freaking narcissistic blame shift, freaking projection, you know, minimizing and invalidating and like these peer pressure kind of what is it called, man? Well, PC basically. And they'll be kind of like, you know, look, they got this apologetics, political apologetics, basically at this point. And you know, this is a spiritual problem that we got going on, and people still think that they can vote their way out of this, man. That's the strong delusion. Because look, if it's got this bad, it's like they've been doing it for a long time. It's just now it's just like their con act is totally, the gig is up, and they're trying to hang it around us, the regular Joe's neck, and then turn us against each other, which is the Willie Lynch. That is just this order out of chaos, everybody versus everybody. But covertly, these guys kind of orchestrate it from the shadows through their cabal, or their group of conspiracists, conspirators. While we all freaking, got to do the dirty work. Somebody's got to do that dirty work and take their bribe and look the other way. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Wish it wasn't like this, but once again, that pain that you feel when you see all this stuff, and it's just like, man, why's it gotta be like that? You gotta have a heart of flesh that can resonate, because a hard, stony heart will frickin' crack, and that's no good. Because, look, when people break like that, man, they become abusive. And they blame everybody else, and it's kind of like when a person's drowning, and then there's people afloat around them, the person starts grabbing everybody's limbs, and then they start freaking panicking. I've had this happen. Is that a flint? Yeah, buddy. I think it is. Yeah, anyway. Running out of freaking space here. But, sometimes you gotta, it's the weightier matters, man, that are the most important, man, and not the veneer and the shallow things frickin' in life, man. Just distractions, man. So, arrows up.